day going from Sunny Snaps, videos on all sorts of paper craft, mostly junk journals to start with and ephemera things. And I'm sorry, I've had a nagging cough for weeks and weeks and weeks now, and it doesn't want to go away, so excuse me if I keep clearing my throat and coughing, but I would do my best not to. Okay, what we're making today here is a pocket and a second pocket that you can put into your journal. So a bit of ephemera. This one has a tissue paper attached onto some book page, and then just painted it with some different paints. The bright orange stuff is actually a what do you call it? Like your Nuvo drops, similar to that. And instead of just painting it on there in dotty style, I use the paintbrush to spread it around so it's got a nice shine to it. So that's a finished one, or pretty much finished. This is a half done one. Now all it is a book page folded into 3, like this. See, easy. Then we just glue down the sides, glue down the bottom. You can have a pocket here. You can glue this end down so it's just a pocket. I like the idea of having it 2-sided, so you can pull it out either way. That way, when you put it in a journal, you can put it on that page so you can pull out this way, or you can put it on this page so you can pull it out this way. You can put it sideways so you can pull out top to bottom, and you can still pull this one out. Lots of different options. You can make it big or small as you want. These ones I'm just doing with book pages. Don't use some old brittle book pages, just use some nice, more shiny sort of ones. This one's an older book, but the paper's still in pretty good condition, so it should hold up just fine. Decorate them however you want. This one, like I said, that's a tissue paper that's been put onto a book page, and then I've cut a piece out to fit in there and sit on there. And there's just a few shapes on the back from the same page with a tag in there. This one I've just been inking with some stamping inks and stamped a few flowers, attached a butterfly that's been cut out with a die cut, and I'll just show you what we do. And get my glue bottle. There's my little glue bottle. Oh, sorry, I didn't prepare my glues that well. Hopefully this isn't blocked up. Prepared everything else. There we go. That's fine. Just run a bead of glue along here. And a bead of glue along here. Very simple, easy project. You can easily mass make these. Grab yourself a bunch of book pages, sit yourself down in front of the TV or at your craft table, and off you go. You make a heap of blanks. You can glue them all, or you can leave them open so that they're ready to decorate in whichever way you wish. This one I'm going to glue down this side here, so we're going to make it a full pocket, and up this side here. Press that one down. How are you going today? How's the weather where you are? We're actually finally starting to get a bit cooler here in Australia. It's what is it? Beginning of April. And then you just have to make a little tag, or put whatever you want in your pocket, and make another little tag to sit in there. And I've been doing those with book pages as well. So I'll just grab a book page. This one's a bit thin, but what I can do is just double it up. All I do is sit it here. Just put a mark there where I want to fold it so that it's going to fit into the pocket. Trim that off. And my ruler. Trim that off along that line. You can use scissors if you want to. I just had my knife before. It's gone into hiding. There we go. If you wanted to, you could use pattern paper and leave it unglued. Stick it in here, and you've got a great little journaling spot. I like adding lots of journaling spots into my journals to write things down. The older you get, the more you realise that you'd like to have written information from your relatives, etc., so you can read it later on when you pass, or when I'm old and grey, I can pull out my journals and read them, and hopefully there'll be some kind of interesting. Now, scissors. Got my little cutter bee scissors here. Awesome little scissors. I'm just going to trim this down. Don't want it quite that big. You can leave it sticking out. You can cut it right back to here. I like letting them stick out a little bit at times so that they're easy to grab. And then again, you can decorate that as well. So I just got a few here. I'll show you this one first. Page out of a Elizabeth Adler book. This is literally all I do is fold it up and back, and I'll show you one from start to finish. This one's got a nice blank backside, so you can put it this way, and then I'll get a full blank tag, so we won't do that. I literally just fold it back, so it's about probably about a third of the way, but not, we actually need it so that it comes over and only leaves a smaller section on that side, if that makes sense. I'm not making much sense there, am I? So this one here, the way I folded this, you don't have much space at the top here, but that's okay, because you can have a bigger pocket here then, or you can do it this way. So fold it pretty much almost in half, but a little bit, take a little bit over there, and fold this back down here. And then this one has a much bigger background to decorate, and your pocket there, and then a smaller pocket here. Now, the sizes don't matter. You can do it whichever way you want. You can do it this way. You can do it this way. You can you can use a smaller book page. This page is not as wide. You can cut these down. You could even cut these in half. So let's just do that one. Let's cut this one in half, pretty much. I'm going to line it up on these lines so that I cut a straight line. Put my ruler on here. I'm not going to measure it. My blade needs replacing. Chopping off to get that bit extra. You can do them this way, so you've got a much smaller one. Let's glue one of those up. I'll get this one slightly wider. So all I do is glue down these two edges and this edge. There we go. Push that up there. So then I've got a skinnier pocket up the top, which the glue is not dried yet. You find with your older book pages, once they get, especially these old matte style pages, they will soak up the glue. So sometimes you need a bit more glue than you would normally use on some other papers. All depends on your paper type. Now before I glue this down, I'm just going to put a little notch in each end. That just helps you, or A, you can then see that there's something in there, and B, it makes it a little bit easier to get the whatever's in the slot out. My words are terrible today. See how we go. Okay, so that's a cute little one, and you just decorate that however you want. So I've pulled out a few here that I've started to make, just so that you get a different idea, and we'll do a little bit of decorating. This one's a pet one. I decided I'd go with some pet stuff today. I've actually sewn along the bottom of this one. This paper, this book paper is a really matte paper, but it's quite thick and hardy, so I was able to sew along the bottom there. And then we can make a little tag to put in there. I've pulled out these. This has come out of a dog book. And that's a bit skinny, but what I'll do is actually put that onto a piece of paper and then use it as a tag to go in here. And then you've got your pocket back here to make things for. And here's one here. I'll just glue these up, and then I'll do a couple of decoratings. I'll glue this one up. So as I said, very simple project. Gives you a pocket and a slot, if you want to call it that, or you could call it 2 pockets. And then you pre-make them, and then you've got them all ready to go in your journal. And then you can, like I said, you can leave them. You can pre-make a whole bunch of them, leave them undecorated, and then decorate them when you do your journal, so it matches your journal. Or if you know what sort of journals you make, or just decorate how you like them. Then you have a bunch of pockets that you can add things to, or you can make things to put in them as you go. Now I'm liking this little puppy on here. I want to cover up some of this text. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. Text is upside down on this one because I really didn't take any notice of when I was folding, which doesn't matter because I'm going to decorate it anyway. But if you like the text that's on the page, do it so the text is the right way up. So fold it a bit over halfway, fold it back, and then all your text is the correct way. One thing to keep an eye out for when you're doing this sort of thing. This is a little piece of ephemera. I grabbed some out that I've got stashed in a little container. These are my doggy ones that I've just sat in front of the TV, throwing pieces of paper together with some brads and a bit of glue. Might keep a simple one for on here. And I'm just going to show you how I ink these. I have 3 Stampin' Up! Stamp pads here. So I have Old Olive. And my Stampin' Up! Pad's old, so I don't know if they still have these colours. Cajun Craze. But the colours don't matter, really. You do what you want. I thought I'd go with a bit of brown and green today because they're not colours I usually use. And I'm literally going to grab one of those book pages and just have it down the back here. Use a scrap piece of paper to put behind here, so not putting ink all over my cutting board. And I'm just going to ink it up. You can see 2 different browns. Oops, I went over the green, didn't I? That was clever. Actually, that's not bad. I like that. Because this is a fairly, it's kind of shiny but not shiny book page, the ink runs on it really well and blends. See how well that blended? Normally if you put that on straight paper, like if I put this on here and then put the olive on there, see the doesn't blend as well, and some of your strokes all show up if you don't use a better blending technique. But this paper is brilliant for inking on. I'm going to get very inky fingers. If you don't like inky fingers, then use a glove. And if you want to make sure your stamp pads stay nice and clean, which I'm usually very fussy about, but now that I'm doing a ton more inking and things, I'm not quite as fussy. I'll just add a little bit more brown to the edge of that. So very quickly, you can get a nice colour with a bit of inking. Now, if you don't want that looking white at the back of the pocket, ink it before you put it together. I don't mind that because it makes you see that there's a pocket there. And also if you want darker edges, like I can go around the edge here and darken these edges. Ink your edges, gives a bit of a frame, makes it stand out a bit. And if you want to do that easier, do it before you put it together. Now I'm going to struggle to get ink on the edges of those semicircles, but I should be able to pull that out. My awkward fingers working. It's not really going to work very well. There we go. I can do that side. There we are. It's actually easier if I use the finger in. I've got to be a bit careful though, because I haven't just glued these. They don't come apart. There we go. All nicely inked up in a couple of minutes. Quick as. Put a little bit of ephemera on there, or maybe wolf. Something that's a bit contrasty. A big one. No, let's put wolf. Let's put the little paw print on there. Bit of glue on here. I'll just grab my bigger glue bottle. It's got a bigger end on it. Hopefully it comes out. No, it doesn't. It's okay. It's been over a week, so they tend to grow out. We've had granddaughters and cousins here on the weekend, so we had a really busy weekend with family, which was beautiful. And I did some photos. I did a cake smash photo session. I'm going to put this over this side. Press it down nicely. There you go. Now you've got a good place to slot a piece in here and put a piece in the top there. Do another one. Where's the one that we glued before? Look at that little one. Where did I put it? Where'd it go? It's gone into hiding. I'll use... Oh, that one's not glued. Where'd my little one go? Ran away. So I have quite a few sitting here, ready to go, ready to be done. And that little half one that I glued before, don't know where it is. That's okay. Let's do this one a bit differently. Let's ink it a bit before we put it together. This is going to be my brown one. So this time I'm going to put the ink down further. And use this one for the green. Be a good girl and see how if you go straight onto your paper, you get that circle shape from the top of the dauber. If you come in from the side of your paper, you can avoid that. I'm just blending these a little bit. Actually stays quite wet. Oh, fingers aren't too inky. So now when you open the pocket there, you'll see the difference. And what I will do is do more green on the front here. And we might do a bit of stamping. A bit different. There you go. So we'll stamp it. Actually, I won't stamp. Got some cutouts, die cuts here. So some of these are stamped images. This is stamped on watercolor paper and cut out, fussy cut out. What else do we have? Some cute little doggies. No. Standy up doggy. No. Can't put a standing up doggy with a character doggy, can you? Need more character doggies, so I'll just put these away. It's always handy to have a lot of shapes and things cut out, ready to go. Then you don't have to go looking when you need a shape. So we're just going to colour this doggy in brown. I'm just going to come in from the edge. So I'm starting on the paper here, coming in from the edge. So I want the outsides darker than the inside. There we go. He stands out on there quite well. That's no worries. We'll glue him on. Glue our pocket. There we go. I'm going to leave this piece behind the notch white so it stands out. But what I will do is put a little bit of colour on the edge. There we go. So you can see there's a little bit of colour on the edge, ties it in, but the notch helps you see that you got something to pull out. So we just glue this one along the bottom. So go along there and up these sides. like this. So what I might do is a second video making the pieces to put inside these pockets. There we go. So we got another pocket ready to go. That didn't take very long at all, and it's nice and colourful, ready for some things to put in there. So might leave it at that, and then I'll do a second video if my voice holds out. There we go, look, pretty purple one, puppy dog one, a yellow colourful one, and we have another puppy dog one sitting over here with a little tag in there. And I'm going to do a second video making things to put inside them. Okay, catch you next time. Hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Please like and subscribe. So happy you came to watch, and I'll catch you later. Bye.